Hi, I'm Brandy Dusky, the school psychologist, and we're going to spend some time learning why we must all become digital citizens. Let's start by defining what digital citizenship is. The Applied Educational Systems defines digital citizenship as the responsible use of technology by anyone who uses computers, the internet, and digital devices to engage with society on any level. Digital citizenship is touched upon at USD 333 in board policy regarding federal regulations that we'll discuss a little bit later, but our student parent handbook includes some information as well. I know you've all read through this, as we all have, but this is where our high school handbook discusses digital citizenship. Jumping back to the applied education systems for a look into some 7 key concepts to teach regarding digital citizenship. The first being empathy. It's crucial to understanding how people talk and behave online. Because the internet relies largely on text-based communication, it's impossible to hear someone's voice tone, see their facial expressions, or understand other nonverbal cues. As a result, it's very easy to make quick, harsh judgments online, which means internet users, your students, can engage in quick blows intended to hurt another's feelings silently, where you can't overhear and intervene, and that can devolve into cyberbullying. Another key concept is how the internet works. The internet is an incredible network of interconnected servers and computers that direct web browsers request through a network of wired and wireless connections. That's pretty vague, but it's so huge that very few understand the processes, and even fewer understand how they work. The next key concept, understanding user data, is one of the most complex and concerning concepts in the digital age. Just about every website collects data on people who visit, as simple as the pages viewed and as complex as your home address. Most is for marketing, but some is malicious, so students need to know about personal data and how to protect themselves. Practicing digital literacy is the next key concept, and digital literacy is the practice of reading information online and understanding what it means, where it originated, and whether it's accurate. Digital literacy is one of the hardest concepts to teach, but one of the most important. We've got to teach about clickbait and fake news. And empathy is embedded in digital literacy because it requires students to think beneath the face value of text, to question the motives of some people, and reach out and comfort others in some situations. Acknowledging the digital divide is the next key concept. The digital divide is the disparity between those who have access to modern digital tools and those who don't. The internet is still very much a luxury in the world, even in the United States. Only 75% of Americans have internet access, and 20% of Americans live in the Midwest. Hello, where we are, and the access there is the most scarce. That means that there's infrastructure already in place for most of that 25% that don't have access. Some schools have a high number of students within the digital divide, and some don't have any. But students aren't aware of the digital divide, and they may assume that everyone has access, which is completely false. You do not want to ask students who don't have access to identify themselves, because that could be potentially embarrassing and could have potentially negative outcomes. The next key concept, practicing digital wellness, is important. Digital wellness is the practice of refraining from indulging in the internet and digital media for unreasonable amounts of time. The practice of knowing when to take a break from screens. Too much screen time has adverse effects on students. And finally, the last key concept is securing digital devices. It's the final element of becoming a good digital citizen. Taking everything learned and applying it to real-life scenarios. There's smartphone security, locks, codes, ID. Even Face ID has its limitations. Did you know a picture of yourself on social media can be used to unlock your phone? Teaching students about VPNs. They place a protective shell around your data as it travels through the internet. And antivirus software. It comes in many forms, but they all do the same thing. They keep our data and information safe from those who would steal it. Let's look at some federal programs and regulations that address digital citizenship. I mentioned federal regulations in our board policy. Some of those include the Children's Internet Protection Act, better known as CIPA. School districts are required by CIPA to have technology measures and policies in place that protect students from harmful materials, including obscene and pornographic content. This means that student internet access must be filtered and harmful content blocked. The Schools and Libraries Universal Service Support Mechanism, better known as E-Rate, is a federal program that provides funding to schools and libraries to purchase hardware, internet access, and telecommunications to connect their students to learning opportunities. All K-12 public schools are eligible for E-Rate, and eligible services fall into 3 categories. The first is data transmission services and/or internet access. The second is internal connections, managed internal broadband services, and basic maintenance of internal connections. The third is miscellaneous, and that includes service fees and charges, installation, activation, and configuration of those listed in the first area. E-Rate is connected to digital citizenship because in order to be eligible for E-Rate, all applicants must demonstrate compliance with CIPA. The Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, or COPPA, is a federal regulation that applies to commercial companies and limits their ability to collect personal information from children under 13. No personal student information is collected for commercial purposes. And finally, FERPA. It's a federal regulation that protects the privacy of student records and gives parents rights to review student records. Schools may disclose directory information, but parents may request that that's not disclosed. Let's look into a digital citizenship curriculum that's provided by Common Sense Education. It's a free curriculum targeted to all students K-12. The curriculum introduces reliable, research-based information about digital media and their impact, comprehensive yet balanced approach to addressing safety and security. It addresses the whole community by providing materials to educate parents and families about digital citizenship. It satisfies the CIPA E-Rate compliance. It aligns to Common Core standards and includes professional development with resources. The curriculum includes 80 total lessons in the full K-12 curriculum and includes supporting materials. The scope and sequence of the curriculum offers 3 units for the grade bands K2, 3 to 5, and 6 to 8, and 4 units in the grade band for 9 to 12. Each unit has 5 different lessons which spiral with a cross-curricular approach. Let's take a look at that approach. It's based on a framework that addresses privacy and security, digital footprint and reputation, self-image and identity, creative credit and copyright, relationships and communication, information literacy, cyberbullying and digital drama, and internet safety. So why should we teach digital citizenship? Teaching digital citizenship equips students with knowledge, skills, and resources to succeed as lifetime learners. It also helps them engage within a digital environment with responsibility and confidence to develop as leaders who will have meaningful impacts on the lives of others. There are 5 reasons why we must teach digital citizenship, the first being information literacy. That includes access to information that has never been easier, the challenges sifting through that information, understanding it, and being able to use all of it. Cyberbullying is another reason we must teach the digital citizenship, because an increasing cause for concern for both teachers and students. Teaching students to engage respectfully online is important for prevention. The third reason is online safety. Students who are taught to understand and prioritize online safety feel confident to take charge of their digital lives and are less likely to fall victim to potential threats. Digital responsibility is another reason. The power we now have to create and define our own digital experiences is unmatched, and that power comes with responsibility. Students must be taught to wield that power wisely, as it's essential to their long-term educational and personal success. And finally, health and emotional wellness in a digital world is the last reason we must teach digital citizenship. Technology can be addictive, and that addiction can be detrimental to students' health. There are documented correlations between extended use of technology and physical and psychological issues. Are we ready for digital citizenship in Concordia? We can begin to cultivate a culture of positive online use by following the READY strategy. Remind students to be mindful of what information and opinions they make public. Encourage students to step away from their cell phones and screens because offline relationships are also important. Accountability is key. Create a digital use guide. Responsible use policy is good, but classroom reminders always help. Demonstrate and model good digital citizenship to promote a culture of positive online use. And why? Yes. Be a culture of yes when it comes to launching digital tools. Too often, a school blocks and locks down everything to be safe, but this doesn't allow opportunity to teach and learn positive digital citizenship. CEPA requires elements of digital citizenship. We have some excellent tools at our disposal to ensure our students have a solid foundation. If you're interested in my resources, they're included for your review. Are there any questions? Thanks for watching.